So hello, what up my people, welcome back to my channel once again. So today I'm going to be sharing my trade recap for 5 trading days, and we will be starting from 13th of October 2025 to let's see the date, to 17th of October 2025. That's 5 trading days. So let's start from Monday. And for Monday we started from Asian session. So starting from Monday at 1:05 a.m. After the market opened, I saw a nice displacement. So what I was waiting for was a retracement of this particular displacement and probably buy from this particular zone. So this week I wasn't able to take enough trade this week because I have been on the move for about 4 days, and literally I've been using my phone to trade, so I couldn't trade as much. So what I would actually be explaining first is this particular displacement. So if you look at here, you will notice that this particular level was my OCL level, and this particular OCL is lying on my psychological level. I always talk about this, my psychological level, and that was what happened. After the tap of this particular OCL, I was in the market already when it tapped in, and that was how I catched this particular 3:1 RR. Why did I take profit here? Because I saw a resistance here and also lying on my psychological level, so I took profit at my psychological level. So after that, London session did not provide me with any good setup, so I didn't trade for London session. I only just traded that Asian session, and that is all. And if you look at, you will see that the Asian session played out better than even the London session. The New York session played out well, but if you look at the Asian session actually played out better than the London session. A lot of accumulation around the London session. Maybe probably New York session, I would have maybe used this particular psychological level here and just probably take trade from here, but it did not go well with my rules, and irrespective, I did not take that trade that very day. So moving to Tuesday. Okay, that same Monday, this trade, I wasn't supposed to take this trade, but it happened that I saw a nice order block here. This was the reason why I entered this trade here. It is out of my time trading. I'm not supposed to trade this particular setup, but being that I saw consolidation before my point of interest and an engineered liquidity. Can you see it here? Engineered liquidity did not tap into the level here, and irrespective what happened, the market came, tapped us in, gave us a 1:1 RR. Can you see here? Gave us a clear 1:1 RR, but I was waiting for the market to get to this particular zone before I take profit. But irrespective, the market reversed back, took me out, and started going my way. Can you see? I didn't bin. I waited very well, probably, or maybe have a better SL. I would have caught this trade, but stick to my rules. So the market came, took me out, and went my way. So that was how I lost this trade, and like I said, I wasn't supposed to take this trade because of the timing. As you can see, it's around 10 minutes after 7, and it's out of London session already, still on New York session, but normally I stop trading by around 5 p.m. but this trade checked literally all my rules, and that was why I took it. So I lost 1% here on this particular trade. So going to Tuesday, so I took 2 trades on that Monday, and going to Tuesday, this particular trade, I was seated on my station. So I had the before and after of this trade. It's right there on my Telegram channel. So what happened here is that after this particular falling knife, this particular drop here, when the market started retracing, to this particular zone, when it retraced to this particular zone, I was looking at this OCL, but the market did not get to this OCL. Now this particular inducement, because I will call this inducement, this particular inducement gave me a high probability that this particular OCL is going to hold. Very high probability that it's going to hold. So what I was waiting for was, I used this as my liquidity. And I was waiting for the market to clear the liquidity and started coming down for us, and that was what happened. So this is my OCL, and the moment the market came, chopped a little and gave us a nice 3:1 RR. We entered this market at around 9:20 a.m. That's London session. If you look at this particular trade, this particular fall happened at around 6:35 a.m. and I waited for the retracement and we drive the market down. So I got a 3:1 RR here. So why did I also enter this second trade also? After the whole run here, what I was looking for was this particular stop hunt here. I knew that this particular stop hunt was going to hold the market to take it back to the upside, but I was waiting for a nice confirmation before I move into the market. So after the rejection of this level, because I'll call this a liquidity. I'll call this liquidity before my point of interest, and that was that. After I saw the rejection here, I saw this nice displacement, so I was waiting for a tap into either the I was even waiting for a tap into this imbalance, because I used this particular imbalance to enter the trade. I was waiting for a tap into this imbalance here, because if you look at it, tallied with our London and New York session. It tallied with our New York session, and the moment I saw that it is New York session, I knew that it's either this particular order block would hold it, or this imbalance would surely hold it. So I used the imbalance to enter, and as you can see, this is where my entry is, and that was how I caught this trade. Gave me a little bit drawdown before it went my way. Now, why did I exit at this point? I like using obstructions. The same OCL that we had, I knew that it's also a stop hunt. We are going to see reaction on this particular OCL. Had it been I want to enter another trade, I would have used this particular entry to enter another trade, this one. But being that I've caught two nice trades that very day, I didn't stress myself going for another entry again. So that was how I also banked a nice 3:1 RR on this particular trade. So that is it for that. For Tuesday, we caught a nice two trades for Tuesday. So going to Wednesday on the 30 minutes time frame, this particular trade was on the 30 minutes time frame, and on that Wednesday I wasn't on sit. So if you look at, you notice that I didn't even take any meaningful trade on this particular Wednesday, and we had a nice opportunities, because I would have entered from this particular zone, because it actually tallied with my double engulfing strategy, this particular level and this particular level here. I would have entered from here. Now if we look at the session, you will notice that this is a new Asian session trade, and hadn't been I was on sit that very day, I would have catched a nice trade, very nice trade. Can you see? I would have catched probably, because my SL would probably be around this OCL. I would have got a nice 5:1 RR, but did not do that. Wasn't on sit for that. So I will go to the 30 minutes time frame so that you see what I saw that very day. So I just drew my order block for 30 minutes time frame, sorted out my liquidity, and I was ready to strike if the market comes back to that level. So this was what I was looking at. This particular loan order block with a nice displacement with our first inducement. The first pullback after this particular displacement. This is the first pullback on the 30 minutes time frame. So I was waiting for a nice ride that probably I would have ride the market from this particular order block here to this place, or to this next psychological level, but the market left us and we had to just leave the market that way. So that very day it didn't tap me in on this 30 minutes time frame, so I had to go back to my 15 minutes time frame. So on the 15 minutes time frame, this particular trade that I lost, I entered on this 15 minutes time frame. This particular trade that I lost was actually a 15 minutes time frame trade. Now, why did I enter this trade? I saw this nice order block, and normally for my order block I use body candles. I don't use the wick, I use body candles. So I was waiting for a nice quick scalp, but it didn't happen that way, and the market took me out before it gave me probably a nice 1:1 RR. If you look at it, actually tallied with my strategy psychological level from this particular level here to this level, and after it took me out on this particular psychological level, and it also tapped into the next psychological level before it moved. Now, I didn't take this particular trade. If I didn't take this trade, this is how I would have traded this market here. Now, if you look at here, you will see that we have a support. We have a support here, and this particular support, this candle did not mitigate this support. It did not mitigate the support. So had it been I haven't took this trade already, I would have probably been looking at this trade, and that was what happened. This is not hindsight. It was after I took this trade, after I lost this particular trade, that was when I saw this. I was like, it's fine, and that was what happened. Gave us a nice, probably I would have put my stop loss nice 3:1 RR, and this would have been a nice trade, but it didn't happen that way. We only had a stop loss on that Wednesday. So that Wednesday took only one trade, and Thursday we were ready to strike in for London session. So for this particular trade, I used 5 minutes time frame, and the 5 minutes time frame was very The 5 minutes time frame was very clear, and that was why I took that trade. I didn't even use my trading view that very day. I just struck in on MT5. Now this is what happened here on this trade. I had a nice order block here, as you can see. This is a clear order block, clear support, very clear. And this particular support now is lying on my psychological level, on my reaction level. Why I call this reaction level, I like explaining all the time on my series. First reaction, second reaction, third reaction. What am I waiting for? The next tap and the right session. Now let's go to the sessions. As you can see here, this was a manipulation before London session. This is 6:55 a.m. Anybody waiting for London session to enter the trade would have missed the ride already. So most of the time I used to look at this time to see manipulation before London session. So already I saw this nice order block with the first pullback after displacement. Can you see? First pullback after displacement. So I'll call this my inducement or liquidity, anything you call it, it's all the same. And that was what happened here. The market came, did not tap into this particular order block, gave us a nice engineered liquidity, continued going, had a lot of consolidation before it now came in and gave us a nice trade. And that was how I caught this nice 3:1 RR. Because of my stop loss, I used this particular wick here to measure my stop loss. This particular wick here was what I used to measure my stop loss. And the moment the market came, tapped us in before London session. London session started here. Even if you want to mitigate probably this first displacement, let's say we use our fib level to mark from the top of this place to the bottom, isn't it? It came, tapped into our 0.618 level. Can you see? Tapped into this 0.618 level. Not even in London session yet. So sometimes you need to also look at you need to always look at manipulation before London session, manipulation before New York session. Sometimes New York sessions you don't see manipulation around the sessions, but you see London sessions. So most of the time manipulation happen before that London sessions. A lot of people don't get to ride with that London session, and they had to wait till probably 9 or 10. But when you catch a nice move from morning and from that before that London session, it gives you a nice RR. So that was what happened here, and I was able to catch a nice 3:1 RR. So after this particular trade, I didn't trade again. Even on Friday, I was off the charts because I wasn't even seated. I wasn't even close to my station. So for this particular week, these are all the trades that we took. Now let's count our trades and know how many trades did we take this week. So this is the first trade for the OCL 3:1 RR, and that same Monday we lost one trade, 1 RR, and we got 1 TP, 1 SL. This is another 2 TPs, that's 3-1. This is another SL 3-2, and this is another TP, that's 4-2. So that is how we finished this week with some nice trades, and we are ready for the next week again. So thanks for watching my trade recap, guys, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Peace out.